Hello. In this video, I'll walk you through the basic steps to create a Genesis landing page using advanced custom fields and the files provided in the tutorial that you're reading. On the screen right now, you can see the stock landing page template that comes with the Genesis sample child theme. It's pretty boring, right? By the end of this video, you're going to turn this template into this one, and it will not take hours and hours of your life, I promise. First, let's talk about advanced custom fields. You'll need the pro version to follow along with this tutorial, and I cannot recommend it highly enough. It is awesome. ACF allows you to add custom fields to pretty much any part of your WordPress site. You can use it to display custom post types, extra information on posts or pages, or in this case, to create a flexible landing page template that you can use over and over again. All that said, ACF is not a page builder. So if you're looking for a page builder, this is not the answer for you. Creating the fields and filling them in is really easy, but you'll need a template to actually output the fields so that they show up on the front end of your site. In this case, I provided the template for you just to show you what ACF can do. To get started, first we'll add the project files to a test site running the Genesis sample theme. Over here on the right side of my FTP window, I have got the root directory for a test site. I'm going to go into the WP content folder, and then themes, and then Genesis sample. You'll see there's already a landing page template in here. This is that boring one that I showed you here. This is what comes with the theme. So I'm just going to replace that with this other file also called page_landing.php, and my FTP program is asking me if I want to replace it. I'm going to say yes, and then I'm also going to add this landing.css file, which funny enough I need to replace only because I ran through this earlier. Keep in mind, if you have made any landing pages with the original template, the one that looks like this, you do not want to replace that template file because then these pages are going to be broken. Let me know if you need help to rename the template and make sure that you can use both. Also, while I uploaded a separate style sheet, you don't have to do that. Personally, I find it easier because if I'm editing the CSS for the landing page, I know exactly what I'm looking for. But you're welcome to copy that CSS into your existing theme, or you can use a custom CSS plugin. Now that we've got those files added, we are going to go to our test site and install ACF. We're going to upload, and then as I mentioned, you do need the pro version. The free version will not work because it doesn't have the fields that we use for this template. Once we've activated ACF, we are going to go down to custom fields and go to tools, and we are going to import, well, if I click the right button, we're going to import this JSON file that contains all of the fields that you'll need for the landing page template. So we click import. It says that it's imported up here at the top. Alright, I also recommend a plugin. It is called Advanced Custom Fields Repeater and Flexible Content Fields Collapser. Terrible name, but the functionality is awesome. As you'll see when we start building our landing page, when you add a bunch of flexible content fields, it really stretches out the editor screen and it can get very confusing very quickly. This plugin lets you toggle each field open and closed so you can just concentrate on one thing at a time. Now I'm going to create a page. I'll be really original here and name it landing page, just like on the demo site. And I'll go over to the page attributes box over here on the right, and I'm going to select landing. And as soon as I do that, the regular content editor is replaced with my custom field options. First, let's look at the optional logo section. Most landing pages don't have a header or a logo, but sometimes you or your client may want to show one anyway. You can use these fields to add a logo, and it's going to show up on the top center of your landing page. You may need to add some CSS, just depending on your logo size or how you want it to look. So, of course, I'm a little self-centered here. I will add my own logo. And then if I go view my page, all I've got right now is a logo because I haven't added anything else yet. And one of my dogs is growling at us in the background. Okay, so over on the demo site, it's got a goofy logo. If I want to remove that, I can go in and edit that page. I can take the logo out and remove that link. And when I do that, you'll see that the hero area is now the very top. And ideally, that's probably what most people would want. But like I said, I just like to give you the choice. Now I'm going to add that back really quick. Just so I don't forget about it later. All right, let's get rid of a few tabs. All right, now let's look at the flexible content options. Basically, this allows you to add as many rows or layouts as you like to create your landing page. You can use the same one 6 times in a row. You can use each one twice, however you want to do it. When I click on the Add Row button, I'll see a list of all the possible options for layouts. I can use these to build whatever type of landing page makes the most sense for my project. Let's start on this one with a hero image again, just like on the demo. I don't have a ton of images uploaded here, so let's choose this random couple. They're going to be our background. I'll add a heading. This is the heading, super original there. And then for text, let's grab some lorem ipsum, but probably not quite that much. We'll do 3 sentences. And then for our button, we're going to say click here. And we'll link to Google just to save time. Now when we go and refresh our page, okay, we've got the overlay. And you'll notice on the original landing page, there's a light overlay. And on this one, there's a dark one. And I'll show you in the landing.css file. Excuse me. We have got, well, that's interesting. I actually have the light open. Let me clear my cache really quick. Okay. So here's the light CSS, and because this image is kind of light, I really don't like the way that looks. So what I can do is come in, I've assigned both a class of light and dark to that content section, so that basically you can just comment out the one you don't want. And then if you're going to use the dark option, you'll want to come up here and set a color that's lighter, just so your text doesn't disappear. So now if I clear my cache again and come back, I've got the dark overlay instead of the light. And you can also change your button color, just whatever makes the most sense and looks the best. All right, let's go back in and we're going to add a block quote. Now you see that this layout has spread out to let us fill in all the fields. So now I want to hide that because I can't concentrate with too much on the screen. And this is where that second plugin comes in handy. I can just click over here, shut that section, and now I can add my new one and choose block quote. You'll see first there's a color picker to choose a background color, and every section in this template has got that except for the hero image, just because the image is the background there. Alright, so we'll choose a background. This is really great for testimonials if it's a sales type of page. So you can just put in the text, and we're going to make Bob Jones the author, and we're going to say that he works at Google. And I still got a growling dog in the background. Okay, so there's our quote from Bob Jones, and we don't really see the background right now because the page stops. So let's go back. We'll toggle this one closed, and we'll add a pricing table. Since we used a picture of a random couple, let's make this a counseling website, and we're going to do pricing for individual and couples therapy. So I'm going to choose kind of a pastel green for my background, and I'm going to say counseling pricing, or actually let's say counseling options. So for this first one, we're going to say individual counseling, and then we can add features here. So we can say cognitive behavioral therapy, flexible hours, and I don't know, weekly appointments available. We're going to say that's $55. And let's say that in this case there's a scheduling form on the site, so we might say schedule now. And since this isn't a real site, we'll link to Google again. And then this is going to be our second column in the pricing table. We'll say couples counseling. Let's do narrative therapy, evening and weekend appointments, and satisfaction guaranteed. I don't think a therapist would ever say that, but you never know. Let's make that $125. And let's say that maybe when it's a couple, the therapist doesn't want them to schedule online. Maybe they want them to call first or fill out a contact form. So we can say contact us, and we can link to a totally different page if we want to, but for this we'll just use Google. And so now when we go refresh our page, it's a little more evident kind of what we're doing. So we have the logo at the top, our hero area, we have a quote, and we can add to this anything you want. I mean, we could do multiple quotes in a row, or we can break them up with other fields. Let's go back to the demo site, and I'll show you kind of all of the options that are available. So there's the hero, which we looked at. The second section is basically a heading, and then it's a regular what you see is what you get editor, just like the regular WordPress editor. So here you could add images, you can add Genesis column classes, pretty much anything that you want could go in this field. And that's a little more flexibility than I would give, for example, to a client for a project, just because since I'm making this available to anybody, I don't know what sort of projects you may have. We have the 2-column pricing table like we saw on our test site. We have the option to do a left image and some right text. And this text does accept HTML, so you can put in buttons or whatever you need. And then we have a quote here. We have a 4-column pricing table. And then we have another section that's just like the one above, except the image is on the right this time. And then this is another area with that what you see is what you get area. And then we have a 3-column pricing table. I hope this overview has been helpful, and I cannot wait to see what type of landing pages you build with this template. Please leave any questions in the comments, or if you use this and you want to show us a link, do that too. That would be great. Thanks for hanging out.